I shared that I would be making candles, beeswax candles, in antique vessels. I am gonna work in here. We had never run an Airbnb before. It's in our house. I can work on it like right now in between nap time. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to today's vlog. I am enjoying the rest of my coffee. I just got done eating my breakfast and we can get started with our day. We have a bit of a busy schedule this morning. My kids are at school. They go to school only a couple of days a week for half days. So the morning time has really become my time to work, which has been incredibly sacred time to me. And I'm so grateful for it. I love my children so deeply, but with the work that I do, it's really challenging to have them around all the time. So it's really nice to have this dedicated morning time to get some work done. So we have a lot of stuff to do today. Number one, we have an Airbnb guest who is checking in later this evening. So I need to get our Airbnb space completely cleaned and prepped and ready to go for our guest. Number two, I have a doctor's appointment with my new naturopath this morning, right around when the kids are supposed to get home. So Drew's gonna do nap time and everything and get lunch for them, but I will be on that appointment. It's like a Zoom call, so I don't have to go anywhere, thankfully. But it is gonna be a lengthy appointment. Three, I'm gonna be working on some beeswax candles today. I shared recently that I reopened my, oh, look at this sweet little kitty cat. Hi, sweet pea. We're gonna go out into the garage. I'm gonna go grab a table from the garage to work on my candles with. Ooh, it's cold out here. Ooh. I shared that I would be making candles, beeswax candles, in antique vessels. And over the last few weeks, I've kind of been testing out different methods and modalities for doing that. And I've come up with a process that feels like it's really, really working well. However, I did a last minute vintage market, like an in-person pop-up shop type thing. Oh, and I've been recovering ever since, and this is the state of my office currently. I'm kind of embarrassed to say. Now, the one thing that I felt like needed some improving was the modality for melting the wax. I was previously just using a double boiler method in my kitchen on my stovetop. There's so much stuff in my way that needs to get dealt with, but I just am trying to get to my wax melter. I swear this office will be clean one day. Do you guys think this is ugly? Drew thinks it's ugly. I think it's kind of cute. Like ugly in a cute way kind of thing. Made it. I was using the stovetop and a double boiler and it worked fine, just isn't the long-term solution. This, however, I'm hoping will be. I think I opened it upside down. I feel like candle making has become something that a lot of people have been interested in recently. Honestly, a box cutter has changed my life. I used to use scissors to open boxes, or just like a knife from the kitchen, like a butter knife or something. A box cutter is such a small thing to get that improves the quality of your life so much, because it's so affordable nowadays to get the things you need in order to make candles. I just felt like it was a worthwhile investment to get a wax melter. What is this? Are these legs? Does it have legs to stand on? Maybe, that would be cool. I source my beeswax from a local apiary here in Vermont for feet. Yeah, oh, that's so cool. It comes with legs. I don't feel like it really advertised that it had legs with it. That's really fantastic, because you want height on the bottom of your plate so that you can get your wax carrier underneath of it. Wow, that's cool. Anyway, the apiary is really fantastic because they deliver the wax. The apiary is located in northern Vermont and would be about an hour and a half drive for me. And they deliver wax to me every Tuesday, which I just think is so fantastic. In order to get the best price that I possibly can on my wax. I get it unfiltered. It adds a couple of steps to my process, which is totally fine and I'm happy to do in order to keep the cost even lower for beeswax candles, because beeswax is inherently a more expensive medium to make candles with. But for me, the benefits are twofold. They outweigh the cost so much, and I only want to make beeswax candles because it's really important to me to A, support locally. I want to support my local economy and support local apiaries, and B, burning beeswax brings benefits to you and your health and to your house, and it's a sustainable practice that I feel like I can endorse and be behind, not only in the wax but also in the vessels that we're using. We're using pieces that are at the thrift store that need a new life, that otherwise probably wouldn't be used, but to turn them into really beautiful candles is something that feels very aligned and special. So I want to make sure that what I'm putting in the candles is just as special and mutually beneficial. So I say all that to say, the process of filtering wax just adds another step. And so I'm hoping that this melter will help with that. I'm gonna work on putting this together. This looks way more complicated than I expected it to be. I thought it was gonna be like a 1-2 plug it in situation. Clearly I was mistaken. So I'm gonna work on getting this put together. That looked like it was going to be a lot worse than it actually was. So we're all done making our cute little stand. I love the stand. It's a little wobbly, as you can see, and I tightened it as best as I could with the tools they provided, but I might grab some tools from downstairs to see if I can tighten that up a little bit more. But it's metal, so it's going to be flimsy, but I think I might end up probably doing something else to make sure that it can withstand the weight of my beeswax. Let's get some beeswax in here. Ooh, look, it's got a little, oh, I love doing this. Is there anything better in the world than doing that? Oh yeah, I can already feel it. Ooh, smells strong. So it's on the highest setting, it looks like. Okay, yeah, let's turn that down. We don't want to burn our beeswax. Yeah, we want low and slow for beeswax, you know? Okay, we're gonna leave it on the lowest setting and see if it still works, and we'll come back in a second. Okay, so I walked away for a second just to see what would happen, and it's completely hardened. So that means that the dial on this is not exactly aligned with what it reads. Like the little indicator on the side is just a little off. It seems like it doesn't line up. When you turn the nozzle, it doesn't line up. Turned it a little bit more and it's already starting to melt. Yeah, it just like completely solidified. So it did turn it off. So let's see how that does. And while that is melting, I am gonna work in here. I'm gonna try and get this place like a little bit more organized. I wanted to take the chance, like because I had pulled so much off of my shelves, so much inventory off my shelves to take to the market with me. I wanted to take it as an opportunity to like reorganize, because I was really stocking up on inventory over the last few months to have a good baseline to work off of. I thrift every day, every other day. And so I'm constantly picking up inventory and turning out new inventory, but I also like to have kind of a backstock of items so that I can fill in, because some weeks with the thrift store, you just never know what you're gonna find. And some weeks I would go and find a ton of stuff, so I would get it all. And other weeks I would go and not find a lot, and so those were like slower weeks. So I like to have kind of this like backstock to work with, especially when curating collections. I want all the pieces to feel cohesive. I want them all to tell a story. I want them all to be relevant for the season and the time of the year and like the celebrations that are happening at that time of the year. And so anyway, yeah, I just feel like I wanted to take the chance to reorganize. Like I want it to make sense so that when I'm getting pieces off the shelves, it just works better because you are only as organized as your systems are. So I'm gonna work on that for a second, and then I've got to jump on my call here shortly. I just got done with my appointment with my naturopath. That was such a fantastic experience. I often find that my experience when I am seeing a new provider, it's, you know, you never know if it's gonna be a good one or not, and I absolutely adored her. We have a really fantastic treatment plan in place, and I just felt very heard and understood and validated. We have a guest checking in this evening that I need to get our Airbnb space prepped for. I don't think I've ever done like a walkthrough down here before, but this is the bedroom. So we've got like a bed that is permanent that stays here, and then we also have back here a Murphy style bed that folds out. I already know there's only one guest coming for this trip, so I'm only going to make up this one space for him. I got started on this earlier, but just need to finish up. The one thing that I always make sure to do is lint roll the sheets after I wash them, because we use our washer that we have in the house that we use for our family, and my family includes a dog and a cat, and so no matter what I do, there's always like a stray hair or two. I just like to make sure that the sheets are as clean as they can possibly be, and that's just a very easy way to make sure it happens. I have tried every single like dryer sheet hack in the world to have the sheets come out without any dog hair on them, and I still haven't found a really good solution. So this seems to be the best option. I always work on the Airbnb during nap time, so my kids will be asleep for another like 30 minutes or so, and this guest is checking in later this evening, I think around 6. Usually can get everything that I need to get done because this is our busy season, right? It's leaf peeping season, so everybody's coming to stay. We also have a lot of people who come and stay for work. We are near a couple of different places that require travel, and so we often have professionals who come and stay with us during the week, which is really great. But it just means that right now, that the Airbnb has been really, really great. Way better than we expected it to be. We have been running it now. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of running it. And I think that it's turned out to be, you know, as good as, if not better than, what we expected. We had never run an Airbnb before. The fact that it's in our house and I can work on it like right now in between nap times. And most people who are booking an Airbnb that's in their house, they're usually really cool people. They're usually very kind and understanding. You know, we have kids. This is not the place to come for somebody who is going to be bothered by the sound of children. And we make that very clear in the listing. You're not going to be doing any sleeping in here, which is helpful for somebody who is, you know, traveling for work or coming to go hiking and explore the area and expects to be out of the house most of the day, and they really just need a place to sleep. It's a very affordable and convenient option. Vermont in general doesn't have a ton of options. It's a small state. Like, it's not like a metropolitan area where you have like 30 different hotels that you can choose from. Sometimes people stay here because it's literally their only choice. And because of that, we've just had a really good experience with the people who have stayed. Don't get me wrong, we've had some, you know, not great experiences, but on a whole, it's been fantastic. This duvet cover is so comfortable. We actually ended up buying this exact same duvet cover for our primary bedroom upstairs. But of all the things, it holds on to lint so badly. I don't know, like, I'm sure there's some sort of science behind whatever the material is and why it's got so much cling to it. But it's not just dog hair, it's like lint in general just holds on to it for some reason. But it's so comfortable, and I double stuff my duvets. I have 2 inserts in here to make it really, really nice and comfortable for whoever's staying, because I feel like that's I don't know, when you're staying somewhere, you just want your bed to feel good, and I feel like the best way to do that is with really like comfortable and cozy linens. So I double stuff it, which you can tell, like when I flip it over like this, you can see that it's double stuffed. Yeah, I love my dog and I love my cat more than I can explain, but man, the way that they shed, it's like things that I never would have thought about when I got either one of them. It's like, oh, you'll spend half your life rolling your Airbnb. And I've thought about sending the laundry out to get laundered instead, but I would have to increase the price so much in order to afford that. The reason that our price is so low is because I'm the one cleaning it. So I like basically don't even charge a cleaning fee. Different guests are so interesting. Like the last person who was here stayed for a couple of days and only used one towel the whole time. And then other people will come for like 2 nights and they use all 8 towels that I put out. I'm just like, what are you doing with all of those towels? My biggest tip for anything related to the Airbnb is keeping things together and in the same place. I got this little caddy from Target, like in the dollar section, and it has been my best purchase for our Airbnb. It is so incredibly helpful when you are trying to do something quickly. Make sure this is nice and clean. And we can go wake up the kids. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the vacuum because I have more vacuuming to do. And this vacuum is fantastic, but it dies very quickly. We got this new vacuum. It's a Shark vacuum. We've always had a Dyson, but it finally died on us when we had to get a new one. Couldn't afford a Dyson, so we went with the Shark. And so far it's been pretty good. I've had an issue with it, like a manufacturing issue, and getting that worked out has been hard, but overall I really enjoy it. It's melting down beautifully. I think having the lid on is key for this because like the lid is warm. I think that gives it the melting effect that we want to have. Very nice. It is interesting though, like the sides, there's tons of it that needs to be like scraped down. I got everything done for the Airbnb. We just got done with dinner. I made the kids some really yummy little like pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. I will put a link for the recipe down below. I found this really cute account on TikTok forever ago and her recipes have been saving me. Her account I think is literally called like Yummy Toddler Food, and I love her. She's got really fantastic recipes that have helped me and my very particular children. So I made them some muffins for school and we just had a super yummy dinner, and now I'm back up here in my little candle station. So the wax ended up melting really beautifully. I love the smell. If you've never melted beeswax before, the smell is just divine. It smells so freaking good. Even just like a raw block of beeswax. When you burn a beeswax candle, the smell is unlike anything. You cannot match it. It's so yummy. So one thing that I learned is that when you put beeswax inside of a vessel, it will shrink. Beeswax will always shrink. That is just a part of working with beeswax. And I don't really want to add anything else to the beeswax. I want them to be 100% raw beeswax. So something you can do to help with the shrinkage is to ensure that A, the temperature of the beeswax is the right temperature, and B, to make sure that your vessel that you're putting it in is also the same temperature. So I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna see if I put my vessels inside of the crock pot, because it's gonna be like low heat in here. If I put them in there to get them warmed up, I'm hoping maybe as the candle sets, it might not shrink quite as much. So I feel like it's worth a try. I've read that a lot of people will put them in the oven and stuff, but I'm upstairs and I want to be able to do it like immediately, like take it out and then immediately pour it. So I'm gonna give it a try and see if it makes a difference. This time I'm gonna use this really gorgeous bird. I love this. I just want to make a small candle. I'm still figuring out the math of how much wax will fit inside of a container, because you can fill it with water and then measure how many ounces come out and then kind of like do math to figure out how much beeswax you need. But I'm still trying to figure out what exactly that equation is. Let's put her in the crock pot and see how she does. It is much, much later in the evening. Everyone is tucked away in bed. I am wrapping up the last pours for some of these candles. I can't wait to show you how they turned out. They're so special. And I feel like the tricks that we tried today have worked really, really well. So I can't wait to share these candles with you guys. If you aren't following my Instagram account where I sell vintage and beeswax candles, I will leave a link for it down below in case you want to check them out. I do drops for candles every full moon. I'm gonna wrap that up and then wash my face and crawl into bed. It has been a very long but very productive day. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.